how to do the March arguments and image and story. Again, make sure to be staying up during class. You would have learned it back then. So if you are still confused, this video will help you. Basically, a lot of the directions are up here. There's an example. You can look at the samples here. But the main thing to do here is to select one of these topics covered by March that you want to do to write up on. And if you want extra credit, you can do more than two of these or more than one of these, really. So family, the let's go ahead and pick family. It's a theme we've seen a bunch of other places. And with all of these, this is the important thing. So these are additional, that's on page 37. You can also look at these pages for more. That'd be another way to get extra credit, is to put that below. But what we want to do is look for claim. What's the claim of the authors? Why are they writing this? What is it saying to us on this universal theme of family? So claim can sort of be thought of, what's their specific theme? What's their sort of moral of the story on this? And then we're going to want to look for evidence for why that is their moral of the story, and then reasoning. What connects this evidence to their sort of specific claim? So this section in March comes from Uncle Otis taking the young John Lewis to the north to visit. So we see Uncle Otis there in the door, and we see John Lewis saying, Uncle Otis, this is him sort of thinking more, narrating, Uncle Otis had always taken a special interest in me, especially as I began to grow and stand out a little bit. Not just with my devotion to schoolwork, but with the way I generally acted. I was so serious, very earnest, still sermonizing with my chickens, still protesting when that white meat went on the table. I wore a tie often, and some of the grown-ups teased me about it. That they told me I dressed like a preacher. I know that Uncle Otis saw something in me that I hadn't seen yet. That is why we took a trip in 14th of June in 51. So some key lines point out the evidence. Uncle Otis sees something special in John Lewis that I haven't seen yet. So we're going to take that as a straight quote. And then he takes him for a trip. The so that's like the latter half. He always took a special interest in me. And then it relates and you see the word special repeated. These people are, high-powered people. They're not repeating words just generally. This would have been edited. Other people would have read over it. So, especially how he stands out with school, sermonizing, and protesting, his strong will, let's say, protecting the chicken. So some of this, again, you guys gotta, in life, you don't win by showing up a few weeks late with nothing in hand. So some of this you'd get out of having read and paid attention to the rest of the book. Hopefully you've done that. The chickens, because he's very attached to the chicken. So, and what we see out of this, again, it helps to have the context of knowing the book better. Maybe Google John Lewis if you're not familiar. Read up on him quick. Scan the book. It's pretty with all the pictures, it's pretty easy to take in. And so then go ahead and look at, so what's the claim here is that in family, in believing in and supporting us, family can help us reach our complete potential. So Uncle Otis takes this important interest in him, supports it by taking John Lewis on this trip. And this we can see is sort of, it indicates this is one reason John Lewis becomes who he was. And the reasoning is that connects us to this claim is in all this support and belief, we see a person who connects John Lewis's childhood potential with his adult accomplishments. And, Titan, huge figure in the civil rights movement, member of Congress, John Lewis went on to do great things. And so that's somewhere where that would be what it would look like. That's a very good response. I'll get a decent amount of credit for just if you do one, that would get you, a good amount of credit for the argument. If you do two, that would get you an A for sure, probably more. And then for each additional one you do, we'll give some extra credit. So this should hopefully be an easy and interesting way for some of you to get extra credit. So